Hello, beautiful souls. We are in the midst of an ascension and we're letting go of all the negativity. Welcome. My name is Jozee from Lily Leaf 11. Thank you so much for joining me. So, we've been in this reality container and we've kind of, as souls, we've created limitation for ourselves. We've come in from the highest point of consciousness, and then we've dropped down to denser realities, denser dimensions to create limitations and forget who we are as the higher self, the higher soul, the source energy frequency. But what's kind of happened is Earth has been a fun game that has created more duality. There are characters in the game that have got really, really into this game. And so we have got what you could call positive and negative, good, bad. So the negative fractions did take over for a while in a lot of areas. Some call it shadow government, the shadow side, the elites, Illuminati, deep state, which some believe involves reptilians, some fallen angels, archons. Some say Anunnaki. Who really knows? I think there are a lot of people and individuals off planet, in planet that are involved. But we have to remember that this is a game and we're actually contributing as well. So every time we're kind of getting angry at the systems, angry at everything that's been going on, we're actually creating more of that control. We're creating that illusion. So, yeah, we've got to really be aware of what we're creating as well. So, it is time for us to rise again. So, the key to our freedom has always been within us. So, there have been individuals that wanted to control this reality. So, they've always tried to create division. So, they do it through creating fear, they create wars, they create racism, and so much more. And they want you to pick a side. So, that then with that, we don't. If we pick a side, then we're not unified. And this is what this game has really gone deep into, is that we've really created that separation, that illusion of separation. So these shadowy kind of infiltrations have really wanted us to pick a side and, not like each other. Yeah, it's great. It's crazy, honestly. But, fun game. Let's not overthink it. We're all oneness in the end, and we're all eternal souls. So this doesn't last long, this game. So the control systems have created more contrast, more duality, so that we have been living in a reality of separation and limitation. I think even more than planned. I don't think we planned to go this deep. But like obviously source energy can shut it down at any time, but we have the free will. And as souls, we've been kind of wanting to continue to play this game to see how deep we could go, and what we could learn through what we often don't like. So, what the control systems were trying to do is get us to fight amongst ourselves. So, we need to stop giving in to the fear mongering. Like they're always trying to put out fear, create fear. And we need to come together and stop picking sides. We need to stop giving our power away to fear. So there have been many tactics to keep our frequencies low. Like there's so many control systems trying to keep our frequencies low. But the divine source has decided it is time to bring balance back to the universe. So we kind of went so deep, but it is time, because when we're unbalanced, it really has a ripple effect, because we are one being, we are one cell, we are one. We're just different parts of the one. So it really does put other parts of the universe and beyond out of balance if we're so deep out of balance. So we can choose to align with the energy of source and our true selves. And it doesn't seem easier, but it is getting easier to actually find that, feel that source energy within us now. So the deep state shadow has lost its grip now. So the vibrations of Earth are rising. Okay, so we're now seeing through the false agendas, and this is what's happening. Full disclosure of everything, and so we can get really stressed out and angry about everything that has been going on, but then that just creates more of the anger and the stress within this matrix field. So we really need to rise above it and let it go, and just give that. If you can't give that love and light, then just give the neutrality to the situation, okay? And you can just maybe give compassion for those involved. So we're raising our frequency to realign with the oneness state of love. So we've had things like, like the media wants you to pick sides, and it creates a hate and a fear, and often, not saying all religion, but some religion has done that as well. They want you to pick a side, and they have created judgment within people, judgment of themselves, judgment of others. Yeah, there's so much. And, politics has wanted you to pick a side. Even, at school, you have to pick a side, like it's, and they've driven us, competition. I mean, obviously there's some competition that's super fun and friendly, and, you just kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone and have a great time. But then there's some competition that creates stress and anger and fear. And this is what the negative agendas feed off. They feed off that stress and division and fear. That's what fuels them. So there's even, a lot of celebrities and musicians that have been caught up in all of the dark agendas as well. Some have known exactly what they're doing, and some have kind of been tricked into it because they get told they'll be famous and they'll make money, and then they don't realize what they've gotten themselves into. So they've been told to create negative experiences for humanity as well, through some of the songs that are really depressing or really angry or hateful or spiteful. And a lot of celebrities have been told to create, create racism, and just make you feel like you're not good enough, or that love is terrible, and if you're not loved, then you should be miserable. And there's so many different things that have been put out there to try and make us and just try and push us into a lower vibrational frequency. But at the same time, remember, don't overthink it, because the higher self loves it. The higher self is loving experiencing the lower vibrational frequencies, because it hasn't, it doesn't know how high it is until it experiences the low. Yeah. So it's time to take our power back, though. We've had enough of playing this game. We've been repeating the same old patterns. They keep creating like a financial crash, or they keep creating wars, or they keep creating negative situations just to keep bringing us down into these lower states so that we stay in a survival consciousness. And we're just sick of it now. We're bored of playing this third dimension reality. We really want to start thriving, having so much more fun, and just feeling good. So it's time to come together as oneness again. So when we're arguing about who is right and who is wrong and living in fear and living in survival consciousness, then we find it harder to connect with source. And so that's what the shadow side has kind of done. They don't want us to remember who we truly are, because then they can just keep controlling, running the world, getting all the money, just, living their best lives, doing what they want to do. So if they control us through fear, through that lowest state of mind, then they get to do what they please. But and we allowed the control as well, because if we're believing it, then we're creating it. Whereas nobody can create our reality unless we do it for ourselves. So we're actually the ones that are creating it. They're kind of telling us what to create, but we are creating it because they can't create. So that's how they manipulate and control a soul, is to keep them in fear and stress and division. So this is why all of these games have been played out. Negative situations, the wars, the illnesses, and I mean, not all illnesses are created by the shadow government. Some are kind of created by different things, and we're upgrading our systems and our DNA as well. And a lot of it is emotional blocks or energy blocks that when we're releasing, we can feel a bit unwell as well. But a lot of things have happened to make us feel not so good. So that's how. So it's only an illusion that the shadow has control. So if we believe that the shadow side has control, then that's what we create. So as soon as we stop believing in the control, then that illusion collapses, and that's what's happening now. Is the illusion is collapsing, and that's why it feels like a bit chaotic in the world, is because everybody's belief systems are shifting, and they're in that interim stage, in between stage of what is my highest timeline, what is my best reality, while all the old systems collapse. And some people are still trying to hold on to the old systems because they're so used to that control. So what the shadow's done is they've broadcasted frequency, like sound waves and things like that. They do it in stadiums, they do it in concerts, and they make people, like even like sports games, and other things around the world, and so they make people feel angry, make people feel depressed. They can do it, like if you listen to a song and it can be such a depressing song, and it's just a song, but they have all of these things like songs and a frequency sound wave that lowers your emotional state. So now that we're raising our frequency, we're shifting out of those. So we've had so much going on, solar flares. There's people call them the white hats, that are kind of going around and helping shift our energy, shift the frequencies, and they're collapsing the shadow government, the shadow side as well. They're like from the inside, they're kind of getting rid of all the old stuff, the outdated systems. So they've broken down the control structures. So even though you might look out in the world and go, oh no, this is awful, this is crazy, there's war and there's fighting and so much going on. It's because of all the old is coming out, and everybody's starting to see the truth, which is a good thing. But we need to really stay in that neutral or that loving state. So if we don't want to get angry, we don't want to get scared, we don't want to get worried, because this is what feeds the old system. So what they do is they keep trying to do something to make us live in fear or get scared or worried, or like, oh, that this is going to happen, you're going to get sick, or or there's going to be a financial collapse, so you're going to have no money, or there's going to be a war, or there's going to be, this and that. And they're just trying to create that fear all of the time. So human consciousness is rising out of the illusions of separation. So people are really starting to catch on about what is going on out there. But so there's more individuals that are seeking unity consciousness. So we want to create a thriving earth, but at the same time, like, we want to make sure that we're not feeding into that anger, because sometimes when you can see something that has been going on for years, something really negative, you can get really angry at what has happened or at those individuals. And then you just keep adding to that flame. You're the fuel that is adding to that flame. Whereas if you give compassion, you give love, or you stay in a neutral state of being, then you calm the flame, and then the flame just ends up going out. So many are questioning the systems and seeing through the illusions. So when humanity stops believing in the illusions of control and fear, then the shadow side will completely collapse. And that's kind of what's happening at the moment, is we're seeing through everything now. And so that's why it is collapsing. Some of these foundations that we thought were strong are collapsing. And we don't want to be holding on to it. We don't want to be going down with the old shadow, the old beliefs. That's not who we are. We are creating the new earth. We are bringing heaven on earth. We're bringing heaven back to earth. So the lights of human consciousness are turning on and awakening to the truth. So it's time to cultivate our higher perception and focus on the subtle energy. So it's time for us to really go within and focus on our heart chakras and feel the truth beyond, what is going on in the media and the politics, and find your inner truth. So there's a bigger picture, like there's unconditional love and unity. So can you find that unconditional love and the unity within? So you could say to yourself, I choose to see with clarity and love. I choose to see with clarity and love. So the doorway to the fifth dimension is unity consciousness. So when we come together, that is when we really raise our frequency and rise to higher realities, more expanded consciousness to, like what we would call the fifth dimension. And that's what these control systems have tried to do. They know that once we reach like a fifth dimension reality, they can't control us anymore. So they've been trying to hide our knowledge, hide our true selves, hide our connection to source. And so to do that, they keep us in fear, keep us in that illusion of control. But you cannot control the soul. We have our own reality container, our own soul container, and that is what we can create. But as soon as we listen to what they're saying and we buy into their fear, buy into their anger, buy into their separation, then that's what we create. That's the world we create. So we are creating this world through fear, through anger, through survival. So, but don't feel bad. I mean, we were born into it. We're only just finally awakening now. Like there's been a lot of effort put in to help us awaken. And at the same time, there's been a lot of effort put in to keep us asleep, because it is a game as well. Even the good guys have been keeping us asleep, because we have the free will to choose if we want to keep playing the game, and we wanted to keep playing that shadow game. But now a lot of us are bored of that, and we want to move to a more balanced life. So there have been individuals all over Earth and outside of Earth that are working non-stop to release the old control systems and support humanity in the ascension process. So it is inevitable that humanity ascends. So we are creating a golden age. This is like a timeline where we've all, so many star seeds, light workers, souls that are all about unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, unconditional love, oneness. We've all come in and we're really working together with many others across the universe and source energy. We've all decided, okay, it's time to shift into the human ascension timeline. So the tipping point has shifted as the vibrations on Earth rise. Okay, so we do not need saving. We've got to remember that. We do not need the galactics to save us. We do not need source energy to save us. We do not need gods to save us. We have the power within us. All we need to do is find our inner balance, our unity consciousness, our oneness, and then this whole world shifts. The whole world. So every time you choose love over hate, you raise the consciousness of Earth. So each time you see something negative and don't feed it with fear, you starve that negative timeline and it fades away. So you strengthen the timelines of high frequency energy when you choose to align and unify rather than get angry and fearful. Okay, so it's really up to us now to not buy into the anger and the fear. It's okay. Obviously, we're human. We've got this range of emotion, but which, is valuable, is a beautiful thing. But how long do you want to stay in the anger? How long do you want to stay in the fear? Because there's only so much your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your energy body, there's only so much it can fit. You are eternal, you are abundant, you are the whole of source energy, but you know what I mean? Like, there's only so much you can take of storing the anger and the hate and the fear. It's exhausting, it's draining, it pulls you down, it lowers your vibration. It's time to let it go. Give yourself compassion and love, and don't judge yourself. Yes, we all make mistakes. I've done the dumbest things, honestly. I've done such terrible things. Like the stuff that I did when I was younger. I was such a rebel. And so, I did it. So what? I had a great time. Okay. I've moved on now. Now I'm putting out a bit more peace, a bit more love. I'm not perfect. My children would say my good vibes are annoying. And then sometimes I don't have good vibes when they leave dishes everywhere. And they leave their washing everywhere. So yeah, we're not perfect. That's okay. We're not having to be perfect, but we just don't need to create separation and anger all day long. It's not a fun place to be. So never underestimate what a difference you are making. Okay, so a little bit helps. A little bit goes a long way. Like a little bit of mindfulness, a smile at someone, at the supermarket. It just creates ripples within the world. So countless humans, more than ever, are looking for peace. They're looking for honesty. They're looking for the truth. They're looking for collaboration. So it's time to unite and choose a higher path forward. Okay, so getting angry and revengeful about the manipulation of humanity only lowers us back down. Okay, so much more stuff is going to come out, and I have remote viewed so much the last few years, and I could have got so angry and so disgusted and so disappointed, but the thing is, it's not going to help. It's not going to help. And if we want to help, if we want to create heaven on earth, bring in the new earth timelines, then we need to have compassion, have love, or have neutrality if you don't want to send out love and compassion. Okay, so we are ready to choose the highest path. Hold love as your guiding light. Okay, so I love you guys so much. I just did a new hat. One piece, one piece. So I'm sending you guys good vibes, peace, abundance, and no matter what is going on, please just go within your heart chakra, go into the oneness of the universe, and remember that everything is okay. All is well. In the end, this is just a highly advanced game experience, expressive reality for souls. Okay, love you. Talk soon. Bye.